Yo, it's Culdaetbeats Studios once again. I'm just happy to be back. It's been a while. I've not dropped tutorials for like a whole year or two. I'm just happy that I'm back. If you just joined the channel, know that you're in the right place. If you want to learn more about music, you want to sharpen your skills with mixing and mastering and stuff like that, this is the right place for you. Make sure you always hit the subscribe button so you get notified when I post stuff. We're not gonna waste time. We're gonna go straight to Pro Tools and see what we got for today. Out here we got a rap session right here. I'm actually gonna play the beat. Let's see. I'm gonna mute this real quick and just play the beat. This is what I do on beats. Right now, whenever I get a YouTube beat, I throw some stuff on it, but for the sake of this tutorial, let's just listen to the beat raw with nothing. So we can know what we could do on it. Now I'm actually gonna show you what I did on it. Just listen to the beat. So it's a pretty simple beat. On the beat itself, I have Vitalizer from Plugin Alliance. If you don't know this plugin, just check it out. What it does is pretty dope. And these are my settings. Depending on the song, I try to give the song a little bit of bass, and compress it a little bit depending on the song. So this song was pretty much like, the beat was pretty much okay. I bumped up a little bit of dBs on the output to make the beat stand out. So like I said, if you have this plugin, that would be a go-go for you. If you don't have this plugin, you can use another plugin that has these settings on it. So if you have any plugin that has a drive, bass, compression to it, I don't really know. But the MK2T is the best for adding a little bit of artifact to an online beat. Alright, let's jump into the mix. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm literally like taking all the effects off, so we can actually see what's going on. I gotta look through my bus because I don't really know what I got on the bus. Alright, I'm gonna do tutorials covering buses as well. So let's take all these things off, all these mastering plugins off, keep the SSL on there. So this is just the vocals.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me.
So it's pretty clean audio from my man Trey Money V, and I'm gonna put his links. Instagram, you can follow him. He's a real artist. It's really cool. So it's a pretty clean vocals. I'll make you listen to it again.
But it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me.
Yeah.
Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders, try not to stress yourself.
I like this song. I was singing in the background. It's not in the vocals. My bad, bro. So I got this first de-essing on there. The de-essing is actually taking some frequencies off, some frequencies, some S's that we don't want in the song. So that's my first go-to. Kind of pan. I listen and pan through.
Like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders, try not to stress yourself.
So what I found interesting using two de-essers. So what we're gonna do is have this preset that I made, which we put the attenuation to around negative 0.00034. I mean, that's too technical. But the thing is, if you're using two de-essers, actually helps the vocals than using one de-esser. So in this case, before I was using just one de-esser. If you pan through, if you're looking through, I was using just one. But in the case of this tutorial, trying to show you how de-essers actually work, I'm gonna use two de-essers so we can actually de-ess the sound. And this is like a startup one. Alright. Alright, so let's listen to it. Let's listen to the vocals with just the first de-esser.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted.
Now let's add another one. That's this one. So at first it was just this one, okay? So just watch. We're gonna be panning through the frequency to see where the S's are coming out, and then we're gonna adjust it accordingly.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't.
So at this moment, it's not doing anything because the range is too high. The range is too low or whatever. So what we're gonna do is gonna be panning through and see where some more S's are there so we can actually tweak it. So that's how you professionally use the S's. That's what music engineers over the years been doing so far. Some people just throw the S's on there. You don't even know what it's doing. So just walk through, see what I'm doing.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't.
So right now,
time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders, try not to stress yourself. Just do what you can. If it's out of your hands, then don't worry about it. Doesn't fucking help. Watch my Uncle Vic wither away.
The technique is you don't want to de-ess too much, so you want to play with the threshold and see where the first de-esser couldn't pick up, and then you can leave it there. So let's do it real quick.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep.
So you can see that the de-ess is picking pretend, those little high T's. That's what it is picking. So this setting works in around 13, 36, because the thing is, if you don't bump the threshold down, you're not gonna catch any de-ess. So using two de-ess is actually nothing. This one is doing just a clean bridge de-esser. You know, it's cutting frequencies on the low side, and this one is doing is kind of like curving it up. You know, it's cutting the high frequencies and cutting the low frequencies, and also targeting frequency, and that's what we've been doing here. So it's targeting the mid highs. So that's the de-esser. Before I had this EQ on there, let's see what this EQ is doing. This EQ from Oxford Sonos, actually. Let's see what it's doing here. Maybe I like it.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't.
Alright, so this was like a second EQ. I think this was the first EQ. Okay. Really? Yeah, this was the first EQ. That's HEQ. Was actually doing the work. This was just like a sub EQ that I had on there. And like I said, it doesn't matter. You can use 2 EQs, 3 EQs. It don't really matter. As long as you know what you're doing, you're good to go. Let's see what an HEQ is doing on this track.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I
without EQ.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with
EQ.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot.
So your question is, what did I do? What I did was I cut some lows. So actually, let's copy the settings real quick and go to default. Full reset. So this EQ is very smart. And it has different forms. I mean, a lot of features. If you someone that like features on EQs, you love it. You could turn the analog on to US or whichever way you want it. But I'm not gonna explain what frequencies are in this tutorial. But I'm just gonna go straight to what I actually did. What I was doing was I did a low cut. I was cutting a lot from the lows. Let's see here. I think I was cutting so much from here. So I just don't do stuff. I try to listen before I do stuff. I give it a little bit of curve. And then you just cut it. So I'm cutting around 50 hertz. 50 hertz range. So you wanna be careful where you cut, but you want to cut a lot of the lows off. So let's see how it sounds like just cutting off a little bit of lows.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Out of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine taster. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders. Try not to stress yourself. Just do what you can if it's out of your hands and don't worry about it. Doesn't fucking help. Watch my Uncle Vic wither away. Went from rocking the stage to bedridden. Hooked up to machines. Couldn't even dress some fucking self. Cried so many tears could fill a fucking well. But oh fucking well, that's life. Gotta get some fucking wealth. That's right.
Also, I noticed when you bump up the highs, it really brings the sound in. It doesn't even matter how you do it. It just brings the sound in. Very, very good. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to bump a lot of 2K, bump a little bit of 5K, 10K, get a solid mix coming in.
Yo. Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine taster. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders. Try not to stress yourself. Just do what you can if it's out of your hands and don't worry about it. Doesn't fucking help. Watch my Uncle Vic wither away. Went from rocking the stage to bedridden. Hooked up to machines. Couldn't even dress some fucking self. Cried so many tears could fill a fucking well. But oh fucking well, that's life. Gotta get some fucking wealth, that's right. Trying to build this castle with no fucking pale. Hear these other rappers and they fucking pale in comparison shit.
Yeah, so that's a perfect EQ right now. You can see I cut a little bit of 10K, a little bit of 5, bumped a little bit of 5K, and then I kept 1K down a little bit, and I cut down the mids a little bit. All you gotta do is use your ears to train. But like I said, holding these knobs, you could do whatever, you can achieve whatever you want. So that's the EQ we're using. I was using this second EQ. I don't really know what I was using it for. Let's see what we could do with this particular one. Let's bypass it.
Yo. Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like.
Cause this is without. And let's just see what it's with.
Yo.
I'm gonna put it on.
Yo. Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me.
So it's doing the same thing. Literally, I was kind of like bumping the highs on this one and cutting the lows. So literally doing the same thing. If you have one solid EQ that is really doing the job, that's perfect for you. Normally, what I do is Oxford have this plugin that I love. I'm probably gonna cover it next time, but for the sake of this tutorial, I think one EQ sounds good. Kind of keeps the natural state of the vocal. Okay, so what I do is I put the EQ. So also guys, how you arrange your plugins affect the sound of the mix. If you arrange it in a certain way, it affects the sound of the vocal of the entire mix. And this is over the years, and this is how I actually arrange my vocals for rap. So we got an EQ, we got a de-esser right here. Another thing that I really love using is Vocal Writer. So Vocal Writer is a plugin that adjusts the vocals. That's the main reason why I didn't go in to do it manually. With rap, it kind of helps it a lot, because whenever you do a recording, you get low and high tones. Sometimes the software does not, capture it well, or recording, didn't really capture the low vocals. So what I do is I put this vocal writer on it, and what it does pretty much bumps the highs when they go low. So almost kind of give it like a live kind of thing, where it almost look like the artist is performing live or kind of thing. So I'm not gonna do too much talking. I'm just gonna play real quick, mute the beat, and see what it's doing right now.
But it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest.
So you can see here the city don't. You can see if I play through the city don't.
Sleep, but the city don't.
Anytime he says city, the vocal writer brings city up, and don't. If I zoom in, you can see. Alright, so city down. I wanted to just zoom in so you guys can see what it's doing. So we're gonna play this. So what you could do with this software, with this plugin, is you can bump the range. You can set a high range, which is gonna do a lot, alright, and it's gonna really make that effect stand out. But I don't want a lot of that effect, so I'm just gonna be around. Normally I'm around +6, -6. I think it's perfect for rap. But the city don't. Any with the city don't. Yeah, give it a little bit of range there, and then what I do is I bump the output a little bit. So you got to be careful too, because the highs will be really high. But with this plugin, what it's doing is really targeting the low tones. So if you bump the output a little bit, doesn't really bother anything. And then you can set the pace if you want it fast, if you want it slow. I think this rap's a little bit fast, so I just put it on fast. Normally I got it on slow. With the city don't. Any with the city don't. That's too fast, so probably keep it on slow. So yeah, so that's Vocal Writer for you. I was using on my rap. Let's play collectively with the beat. But it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders, try not to stress yourself. Just do what you can, if it's out of your hands, then don't worry about it, doesn't fucking help. Watch my Uncle Vic wither away. Went from rocking the stage to bedridden, hooked up to machines, couldn't even dress some fucking self. Cried so many tears, could feel a fucking well, but oh fucking well, that's life. Gotta get some fucking wealth, that's right. Trying to build this castle with no fucking pale. Hear these other rappers and they. So you can see down here, the vocals were very low. So what you could do is literally go in manually and like adjust stuff. And that's what I was doing the whole time with this song. You could do manually adjust it, and if you look, you can really see, you could tell that the artists have a certain range. So you could tell that the range hits a certain point. So just look through, and it's all about ear. I mean, if you like it when it's high like that, if you like his sound when it's bumped up high, you could do that. And just make sure you checking the dBs down there. If it's 4 dBs, it's the range you want to give it. Make sure it's around 4 dB. Anything lower than that is too low. So you bump it up, so it helps the song. So this is more of gain staging process. at the gain staging, what you do, compression, right? All right, so we got the EQ, got that, and I like using some sort of compressor to push stuff forward. So in this case, we're going to use the R compressor to give it a little bit of compression. Let's use the R compressor. The R compressor is really good with attitude, has a little bit of attitude to it. Or we can use the R Vox, which is pretty cool. It's a cool compressor as well. And R Vox has a lot of attitude as well. It's attenuation, so it kind of plays with where the lower frequencies are and just bump it up. I keep mine around 3. If you want to put a gate on it, what a gate does, I'm actually going to show you how it works.
But it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders. Try not to stress yourself. Just do what you can if it's out of your hands and don't worry about it. Doesn't fucking help. Watch my Uncle Vic wither away. Went from rocking the...
So what it does is it basically keeps the vocals in the tunnel. So you can see when the vocals is in the tunnel, it doesn't leave the vocals. The vocals do not leave the compressor, so the compressor will keep compressing. So you set a value to it, so the compressor keeps the vocals in that tunnel, in that compression tunnel, which is this middle red thing that you see here. The best way to explain it is to kind of think about it. Whenever the person is not really shouting or the vocals are low, sometimes the compressor do not touch it. So what it does is basically keeps the compressor still working even when the vocals are so low.
But it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't.
So in this case, I don't really like using gates so much because I do a lot of, I use an external compressor to record vocals, and I do the same technique there. You can see that the compressor is compressing at 6 dBs and -5 dBs, and you can see the compressor it's still in there, so it's just getting ready to receive vocals. But like I said, I don't really use too much of compression and gate because I do that outside the gear, outside the board. But play with this, and like I said, the effect is really good. It keeps your vocals always compressed, and you need compression. Compression is basically bumping up volumes. When the vocals go low, it bumps it up, kind of like the vocal writer, but it's adding some artifacts to it.
But it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders. Try not to stress yourself.
So that's that. That's for the R Vox. We're not doing so much. What I do is I have another compressor, which I use a lot. Teletronics from U80, but I'm gonna play with it and see if I really need to use this particular compressor. So let's start low, go high. Same. Is this is the compressor. This is the middle thing that I showed you, the middle red bar, and that's how much it's compressing. So let's do with it. This is more of an ear thing. So if you love the sound, you like how it sounds, just leave it like that.
Yo. Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders. Try not to stress yourself. Just do it.
Also, guys, I'm all mixing this through my headphones. My headphones are not that good, so I don't really know. So normally after everything, I just go back and listen to it. So I'll be playing it through my speakers just to actually hear what I'm doing. But I'm trusting this headphones could work for me in for this tutorial. Normally, I don't recommend using headphones when you guys are mixing at home. I know you're not just using headphones, you're using your speakers as well. That helps.
Yo, trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted.
Yo,
Yo.
yo, Anthony, can I call you back? I'm doing a tutorial. Yeah, I'm doing a tutorial. I'm gonna call you back.
Yo, trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me. Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me.
So I kind of like the compressor, what it's doing, what it's adding to the vocals. You could tell it adds a little bit of clarity to it. If you mute the beat,
Yo, trying to break.
bypass.
Yo, trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like Duncan defending me.
With
Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that. I'm gonna keep that. So that's basically it. That's basically the whole mix. And let's go back and see what we've done so far. Let's see. Let's make all these inactive and let's see what we got.
Trying to break through, but it feel like I'm boxed out, like
Let's start arting it.
Draining a lot of my energy, trying to keep up with the dude I pretend to be. I gotta sleep, but the city don't. Any rest feel like time wasted. Collectors are all on my line, phone buzzing like a wine tasting. My father told me, the world put enough on your shoulders. Try not to stress yourself. Just do what you can. If it's out of your hands, then don't worry about it. Doesn't fucking help.
All right. So that was good. Let's listen through the mix because we've been listening to the first part. Let's go back here and just listen through.
Machines couldn't even dress some fucking self. Cry so many tears, can feel a fucking well, but oh fucking well, that's life. Gotta get some fucking wealth, that's right. Trying to build this castle with no fucking pale. Hear these other rappers and they fucking pale in comparison. Shit is embarrassing. Young black American, me and my garrison. Northern Virginia, DC, and Maryland. Keep a close eye on the ones in my caravan. That don't mean I don't trust him, but Caesar was stabbed by his own man, Gotta protect yourself, the world is cold, I'm ducking hell, I'm dodging rain, I'm in too deep to fucking fail. I'm trying to tell the whole world my life story. Wonder will it fucking sell? Too soon to tell. Damn.
Wow. I like this sound. So yeah, so that's the mix. And we had some auto-tune here. Now you could do some auto-tune stuff, but like I said, you guys want to do this work. I'm gonna cover that in another tutorial, cleaning the recording before you put plugins on it. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take it off. Take one day, take it off. And I'm gonna do the cleaning. But the mix, what we got today, I'm gonna put it on YouTube so you guys can actually listen through. I'll put it on the intro, maybe outro, so you see what we actually got. But like I said, anytime after you record, you want to make sure you're clean, make sure your levels are straight before you add all these vocal riders and EQs and stuff on there. Because when you start adding stuff, your ears get used to what with the plugin, so now you can't really do anything here. So what I do, like I said, you cut it, you bump stuff up, cut it, you bump stuff down. It doesn't matter. You could cut through the vocal. Doesn't matter. You could cut it. Basically clean it up. Make sure that the vocals are clean before you start adding like effects and stuff. Breaths, you can actually go through and reduce breaths. What I do is basically I keep the breath in there, but I just reduce it a little bit, and then that's for cleaning. So basically, if you have a whole track that you recorded, this is the process. I mean, you're not doing a whole lot. And we have buses. I have some buses here. I had like 2-3 buses that were doing certain things on there. And basically, that was that. On part 2, we're gonna be covering. We're gonna be continuing, adding reverb and some other stuff, and we're gonna be done with this session. And like I said, I'll put this song out on the SoundCloud. Follow my man Trey Money V Instagram. He's begging for followers. He's not like a social media guy type, but follow Trey Money V on part 2. Join me. We're gonna finish this project. And if you have any questions, just hit me up with it. See you on the next tutorial. I'm out.